today about the suspect who's been charged there. Have you called the governor yet or been able to speak to any of them?
I don't really call him. He appointed this guy to a position. I think the governor of Minnesota is so whacked out. I'm not calling him. Why would I call him? I could call him and say, hi, how you doing? The guy doesn't have a clue. He's a mess. So, I could be nice and call him, but why waste time?
They want you to believe a limping liberal activist turned into Jason Bourne for 43 hours. But the math just isn't mathing. You guys gotta check this video out.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. So the alleged Minnesota murderer has been captured. The No Kings Killer, as we call him, because he had No Kings signs in the back of his car. He was a Democrat activist. He worked for and with Tim Walz, and his wife worked for Tim Walz, right? Like, this guy worked with an African refugee program to relocate African migrants to Minnesota, not MAGA activities. Okay. So, like, I don't understand what's going on here when it comes to everyone saying he's a Trump supporter. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to see further evidence. That anyway, the point is that he was captured. Here's the photo of him being captured, and then you see the blurred faces here of the clearly special forces officers who were capturing him. Well, I guess you see a Minnesota logo here on the arm of this individual, but these are like very tactical SWAT teams that look like paramilitary and/or actual intelligence ops teams that captured him. You can see all of the dust and all of the debris. Maybe he was hiding in these fields, in one of these fields. Not sure, but with infrared, you can see here infrared night sights. And with drone technology, very hard to hide, especially if you're a lumbering, very out of shape guy. Don't worry, we'll get to that in just a second. Because there's too many strange things that are going on here for us to ignore. First off, his wife was ignored. Do you know his wife was stopped yesterday with a vehicle? She had driven 2 hours. She had $50,000 cash, firearms and ammo and passports, and she wasn't detained. Do you know that?
So guys, $50,000 in cash, a full car of just weapons, guns, passports. They were on some next level John Wick type of stuff. But if this was a Trump supporter, this would be aired on every news outlet, breaking news. I'm telling you, they would have thought you were gonna go do the worst. And this person didn't even get questioned, didn't go to jail, nothing happened. Man, this is propaganda 101. Let's keep going.
What? None of this, as we said yesterday, it's like something's very off here, right? Something's very wrong here. How did this guy, who has a very mysterious background, she worked for Tim Walz, he was appointed by Tim Walz. How's this guy end up? They have 5 kids together, 5 kids. So the motive is he just snapped. Is that going to be it? He killed this individual. She was the Speaker of the House, Melissa Hortman. She had just famously sided with Republicans in order to stop healthcare payments, free healthcare payments for criminal aliens. Something, of course, that Vance was working on. Vance, the alleged shooter. Anyway, it's very strange. Accused Minnesota assassin. His wife was detained, passports and weapons in car, and then they just let her go.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we got a funny little hat on the side of the road thing, right? Just random. Just happened to find his hat in a pristine location on the side of the road, just in time for investigators to see it. And then, of course, this. Listen, I'm not saying that I know more than the authorities.
The thing that makes no sense to me is he has 5 kids, right? I don't think you go ghost on 5 kids, crawl into the woods and run. Because you make 1 kid, you make 2 kids, you make 3 kids. You must like having a family. I think he may actually be running from something deeper. Maybe not just cops, but a potential cover-up. Maybe not cops, but a potential cover-up. What do you guys think? Don't forget to like the video while we're still watching it. But let me know down below in the comments. What do you think? What is he running from? Honestly.
I'm saying these 2 individuals don't look like the same person. That's all I'm saying, right? Like, how did you lose 100 pounds? How did an individual who's this out of shape evade SWAT teams after they fired on the home? They riddled the home with dozens of bullets. Doesn't make any sense. You can see him here walking with a limp. He's walking with a limp. This is after evading SWAT teams. The police had the house surrounded. He was able to escape all of the bullets.
So let me ask you again. What do you think? A guy limping that they just found this guy in the woods 43 hours later.
And then escape out of the house. I'm just saying it's very strange. That's all. I'm just saying it's very odd. And then he just abandons his 5 kids. Sorry, it was Father's Day yesterday. I'm a dad. You don't just abandon your 5 kids.
You don't. I just said
Okay.
that. I literally just said
Anyway,
that.
here's a photo of the door. This is the photo of the door. The police riddled this thing. I mean, it was like a cartoon, the number of bullets they shot into the door. Bullet holes there, bullet holes here. They like, and he was able to escape all those bullets. He's big. They say he's 220. He looks more like 250. He's big. The police said, we shot the place up. He was able to escape into the house, and he was able to escape us. After he'd committed murder, the cops just let him go. He's dressed like a cop. He's wearing this creepy ass Walter White mask. As we've said, I am the one who knocks. Right? It's the throwback. So he's LARPing. But now he's been caught and he's been booked. And here's his official mugshot right here. There you go. This is the official mugshot. He's in the Hennepin County Jail for murder. So there he is. It looks like he had been running, maybe hiding in the grass. What's going on here? He's
Netflix
captured
series.
alive after intense manhunt. Let's read. After a 2-day manhunt and 2 sleepless nights, law enforcement has apprehended Vance Boelter. All right. The armed killer was taken into custody without incident in rural wooded area in southwest Minneapolis, authorities announced. Officers from multiple agencies, including SWAT teams, combined combed the area for hours and were assisted by helicopters, infrared cameras, and drones. In the incidents, it was the resident's trail camera he passed in a rural town that tripped him up, according to the Star Tribune. Most of the search was conducted then, but the trail cam picture alerted SWAT teams to go to the area, search perimeter, and help the drones identify the location. Boelter's capture ended the largest manhunt in state history, which lasted 43 hours and involved 200 officers. He was ultimately arrested when he crawled to the arresting officer and was taken into custody without any force, authorities said. Okay, so he gets into a shootout with police and then he crawls to them. Again, all I'm saying here is it's strange. It's really strange. I'm not saying I have further evidence. At one point, he was tucked up in a fetal position and began to army crawl until he eventually stood up and surrendered. It's like a place called Green Isle. And he started running into the woods. Again, somebody's gonna have to explain to me how this guy who's limping, who looks like he could barely go up a flight of stairs, is able to evade all the SWAT teams for 2 straight.
That's what I want to figure out. For 2 days, this guy's limping. He hasn't ate. He hasn't had any sleep. He's a little older. These other people that are chasing him are trained. It seems like this is what I believe. Let me know if I sound crazy. It seems like all this time they set up this whole entire plan to make you believe something that isn't true. Because with technology that we have nowadays, all the resources we have at hand, I wouldn't be surprised if they set this up. You know, for us to just be confused. Because this swamp, I'm trying to tell you guys, it gets dirty. Let's keep going.
Days, and then he crawled on his hands and knees to like surrender.
No sense.
After a drone located him in the field. Insane. Okay, I look forward to more stories about all of this. This is another photo of Vance Boelter after being apprehended here by authorities. Here's where it gets really weird. Okay, so he has this alleged roommate. Now, he doesn't have a roommate. You know what I mean? This is like a college roommate. But this guy who, I don't know about you, but doesn't exactly look like the most authoritative or trustworthy narrator here. This guy who's allegedly a Papa John's delivery guy, he says that he was a Republican and he listened to InfoWars all the time. He wasn't a Democrat. He didn't like Tim Walz. He didn't like Joe Biden, so he doesn't have the names right of these guys. But all right, he listened to InfoWars. Well, again, you're gonna have to provide me some proof of this. It all seems, really speculative at this point. But more importantly, if he doesn't like Jim Biden or Jim Walz, why is he work? Why is his wife interning for Tim Walz? Why is his wife
Yeah.
working for Tim Walz? Why did he work for Tim Walz, and why was he appointed by Tim Walz? Why was he working in a big time African refugee resettlement program? Not typical MAGA behavior. I'm not saying I mean, again, it's just it's just none of it adds up. That's all. Why did he kill the centrist Democrat that just sided with Republicans in order to end free healthcare for criminal aliens? All of it's odd, ladies and gentlemen.
That is the real question right there, guys. I'm sitting here reading. I'm like, she went against the system, against the freebies, and now she's gone, right? This wasn't MAGA. This was a huge political plan hidden in plain sight. That's exactly what it is. To me, I have to say that because YouTube's this way and I go this way, but I have to say that. Let me know what you guys are thinking so far.
But here we go. Trail cams got him, and here you can see sort of like the raid as it looked from the road. Okay. This guy was in a fetal position and crawled to give himself up after escaping in a daring shootout from authorities, after leaving like pristine clues behind as to where he was, after leaving his 5 kids for absolutely no reason, after losing 100 pounds or gaining 100 pounds. And this Walter White mask, I am the one who knocks. So after committing cold-blooded murders and then escaping the SWAT teams in a hail of bullets and gunfire, like a nimble assassin, he like is in a fetal position crying. None of it makes sense. That just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, here, ladies and gentlemen, are the updates from the authorities. We'll leave it at this. Something dark is happening in Minnesota. Something very strange and evil is happening in Minnesota. I don't know exactly what the full story is here, but it just is odd. Very odd to me.
America isn't falling apart because of Trump supporters. It's falling apart because the people in power lie with a straight face and they hope that we're too stupid to notice. We're not. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and as always, let me know what to react to. We're out.